stars can seem insignificant when we realize that it is just one among hundreds of billions of galaxies in the universe. Our Milky Way galaxy formed about a billion years after the Big Bang, making it some 13.2 billion years old. The most ancient stars within it are about 10 billion years old, and the youngest are just a few million years old. In fact, baby stars are being born even today. Our Sun is a middle-aged star, 4.5 billion years old. It was born from a cloud of gas and dust, which we call a solar nebula. The birth of the Sun was brought about by the explosive death of a nearby star. Shock waves from the explosion of the dying star triggered the formation of the solar system. Most of the gas and dust in the cloud went to form the Sun, and a small amount collected to form rings and debris around it. Most of the material in the rings then coalesced to form planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Smaller leftover bits of matter became dwarf planets like Pluto, asteroids, and comets. Of the 8 planets, only the third planet, Earth, is located in a zone where life can thrive. Unlike Venus, it is not so close to the Sun that water boils away, nor is it so far away that water freezes into ice, as on Mars. Water in its liquid state is essential for life to arise and to evolve. The Earth was initially very hot, and there was no atmosphere. In the course of time, the outer surface cooled into a hard crust, encasing a core of molten rock. In many places, the liquid interior broke through the crust as volcanoes and spewed out red-hot lava and gases. These gases formed Earth's first atmosphere. One theory holds that clouds in this early atmosphere showered rain unceasingly for thousands of years, giving rise to our oceans. Another theory is that the water masses on Earth were created by impacts from massive comets, which are made largely of ice crystals. Had you been able to watch the birth of our planet from space, it might have looked like this. The solar system started condensing about 4.5 billion years ago. A couple hundred million years later, the Earth had appeared. After another 300 million years, the atmosphere and the oceans had covered Earth. Another 500 million years passed and some primitive forms of life appeared, such as blue-green algae. Another 500 million years, and bacteria and simple plants had arrived. Then, over billions of years, more and more complex organisms evolved, first in the sea and later on land. Eventually, some 200 million years ago, the gigantic animals we call dinosaurs dominated Earth, only to disappear about 70 million years ago, probably as a result of climatic changes caused by the crash of a large asteroid, setting the stage for the rapid evolution of mammals, foremost among them humans, who began to shape nature itself. Our ancestors made stone tools, used fire, and learned to farm. From wanderers and gatherers, we became settlers. As life became easier, people had a lot of time to look at the sky. In the apparent random distribution of stars in the night sky, our ancestors imagined familiar shapes and patterns, which we call the constellations. Today we recognize a total of 88 constellations that encompass the entire sky. 12 of these are called the zodiacal constellations. Together, they form a belt running across the sky. The sun, the moon, and the planets appear to travel through the belt of the zodiac. One of the most conspicuous constellations seen in the winter sky is Orion, the Hunter. A little to the west is the celestial bull Taurus, a zodiac constellation. Taurus appears to be attacking Orion the Hunter. The orange giant star Aldebaran forms the eye of the bull. On the other side of Orion, we see Canis Major, the big dog, with Sirius the dog star. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky, and there above is the puppy dog, Canis Minor, with its bright star Procyon. Early humans lived close to wild animals, and they saw them in the night sky as well, such as the bears. There's the big bear, Ursa Major, and nearby the baby bear, Ursa Minor. As we've seen, two stars from the body of the big bear point straight to this tail star of the little bear, which is the North Star Polaris. Right overhead, we find the famous zodiac constellation Leo the Lion. One of the brightest stars, Regulus at the front paw, is actually 4 stars. And Denebola at the tail is a relatively young star. In the southern skies, we see the ancient ship Argo. Together, we have divided the ship into 3 constellations. The sails of the ancient ship we call Vela, the stern, Puppis, and the keel of the ship is called Carina. Canopus of Carina is the second brightest star in the sky. In fact, Canopus is used to navigate in the southern seas. Another constellation in the south that helps navigation is this one, formed by 4 stars in the shape of a cross. This is the Southern Cross, also known as Crux. Surrounding Crux is one of the biggest constellations, Centaurus. To the ancients, the stars were in the shape of a centaur, half man, half horse. Alpha Centauri, the 3rd brightest star in the sky, is at the rear hoof of Centaurus, along with Proxima Centauri, which is also the closest star to us in the entire night sky. Here, in the constellation Boötes, the herdsman, we find Arcturus, the 4th brightest star. The 5th brightest star in the sky is seen rising in the east now.